Hello everyone. Today I am at St Mark's Church at Heworth. Now, I probably should have come a little bit earlier in the morning because we're actually right next to the Felling bypass. I think the Great North Road goes past that. So it's actually quite noisy. I've just parked up round the corner. I've just had a walk round. It's a church I've never been to before. I must have driven past it hundreds of times heading to Newcastle or Gateshead. But I've walked about 100 metres from my car. The first impression when I walked around the outside was it's absolutely packed with headstones. I did see a blue plaque on the wall in memory of the 92 victims of the Felling disaster from 1912. So, lovely little lichgate there. The bluebells are out as well, but I've noticed some really old headstones. So I don't even know the age of this church, but as you can see there, that looks 1700s to me. You can see some surnames as well from Robert Macaulay. It's one of the Mac names I've never seen before. You'll see a new one. I'll move a little bit further in, but this is an absolutely gorgeous headstone I've just noticed. In memory of Richard Dawes, late head master of, I think is that grammar school, Newcastle, who died, March, something, I think that's 1776 possibly, aged 57 years. But look at the detail on that carving there. Trips over. Look at this grand vault-like structure. I've just got a name on it. Mary Ann Monks. I've seen late 80s headstones with some lovely bluebells. Back on here. It's a lot bigger than I thought, actually. So there's still burials there in the early 1920s, 1930s. Seeing lots of distinct surnames already. Alice Laws, daughter of the above, but she's interred at Whitley Bay Church. Beneath that, Jane Little Quinton. She died in 1934. For over 50 years, servant of the late Mrs. Buick and family of Haddon and Rothbury. So must have been a wealthy family, having property living up between Haddon and Rothbury up in Northumberland. It's picturesque there. And look at this. It's impressive, isn't it? Look at that. Have you seen that before? The burial place of Joseph Haddon. Family, William, his son, parted this life. It's hard to read all of them, but I can see 1717 somebody died for some reason. What's that? Over 300 years. Probably 300 years. It's a grand entrance, isn't it? There is a modern day cemetery further over in the distance, but there's a, don't see that name often, Thomas Biggins, with any relation to Christopher, and he's only the Biggins I've ever heard of. Now where's all the old 1700 ones? Just seen a grand, what I mentioned about surnames here, right? Burial place of John Beverstock and Margaret Hannington. Quite distinct. So there's the Felling bypass over there. We're right next to Heworth Metro Station, which is just about 100 metres away. Heworth, Felling, Peelaw, Wardley, they're all quite close together in Gateshead. This would look even grander with the iron railing still in place, but they've all been taken down. It's a large monument. That's in memory of Anne Russell of Nether Heworth, granddaughter of the late John Russell of that place. Never heard of Nether Heworth before. And then there's one over there. I've just seen the family burial place of John Boyston. That's B-O-I-S-T-O-N. Another surname never come across before. There's got Taylor, Brown, Wade, a bit more well known. I'll go around the outside. George Proud of Windy Nook. Got High Felling. Grass could do with a cut. Oh, I see lots of bluebells. We're going up around there. These are don't know I like a slate headstone. In memory of Mary, wife of Nathaniel William Dobson, late of Bill Key. That's daughter of George Bolton of Leeds. And then there's, look at that name, they had a daughter, Jemima Lightowler. Bill Key's just down, but not far away, down on the River Tyne. These are the best ones, these one, look at that. That's a burial place of John Johnson of Heworth Shaw. And then mentions Peter Aurum. I'm going to come back round when I've done the video and take some photos of these. That's the burial place of George Whitehead. And then Charles, his son, died February the 7th, 1785, aged 1 year. I've got my torch, I'll see if that'll show that it looks like a fine epitaph down there. Swap hands over if I can. But finding the of their sadly it's just too faint to read that. It might have looked better on the actual camera. And there's another here lieth the body of the late Thomas, sadly worn away. John Sim of Gateshead, High Fell. We've got Low Fell, High Fell, Windy Nook. Might be a bit quiet around here. Now that's a carpet of bluebells, isn't it? Also John George Hind, son of the aforesaid Blakiston Hind. Shame the sun's not out. That in memory of Frederick Gray, steam tug owner. I'd like to get in there, but there's too many flowers. It's all new to me, this place. Quiet on this side. And there's another entrance, and there's the tower. Absolutely huge. The size of that. Slabs of stone on that. So I think there's 3 entrances into the churchyard. Thomas and Jane Musgrave of Peelaw, Maine. Thomas William Ferguson of Newcastle. That's a fine sight. Just gonna go back round there in a second. I just want to see if I can show you in the distance how big this particular place is. Goes all the way back for a few hundred metres, and then there's like a modern day cemetery I've noticed from driving past. Rachel Byes of Hollyhill Felling, Simon Gallen, Bilk, Mary Branch. That's a big headstone. Look at the size of that. The family place of Robert and Isabella Lightfoot of Felling Shore. So there's clues to the river. So it must be half a mile or less than a mile from the River Tyne. There's John Leeming Hall, grandson of the aforesaid, who died February 17th, 1889. It's 21 years. We've also got a great grandson on here who died for King and Country on October the 14th, 1914, aged 27 years, interred at Hanover, Germany. So he must have been a prisoner. Prisoner of war, possibly. Langlands, it's a distinct surname. I do like a good surname. And then there's another one here. Catherine Cornish. And then we've got a surname you don't often see. Lasley. I want to see a nice epitaph. There's another surname, Mary Plender of Felling, formerly of Oak Lane near Oak Lane near Hexham. That's a good Teesdale then, where I'm from originally. Tarn, T-R-N. Thomas and Margaret Tarn of Low Felling. Tamar, the daughter. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this family have come from up Teesdale, because I've got ancestors from up top end of Teesdale who Tamar is a good common name, Teesdale name up the top end of there, especially with Tarns and common names up there. We mourn thy death, thy life so sweet, midst youthful hopes so soon cut off, joined by love in Christ complete, we hope to live and die in both. This providence so dark and so obscure, by grace alone we hope the trial to endure. It's one of these places you could spend hours here. Robert Blythe. So what we'll do, I'll show you where the colliery disaster monument was, it's just right on the outside. Sister St. Kilmore. John Robinson, who died at South Hilton, that's over Sunderland. That, funny enough, I nearly went to that church this morning to do a video rather than here. So more great names, look at these. Robert and Sarah Reid of Felling, but also John Taverner Anscombe. And in the back, I see Amos and Mary Armand, then a Caden, there's lots of Cadens there. Bainbridge. What a cool name. Look at that. William Blackbird. Hopefully it doesn't rain. Dark clouds are above me. We haven't got this bit here. There's William Headley Dalrymple. It's a good Scottish name, Dalrymple. Felling Shore. Christiana, I think that's Attenberg. Woodruff. Oh, we've got a Commonwealth Grave one as well there. That's Private A. Rowley of the East Yorkshire Regiment, died 20th of January 1921, age 40. I'll quickly show you the blue plaque on the wall. Don't think I've noticed that before until I parked up. That's Felling Colliery disaster, 25th of May 1812. Of 92 men and boys killed in an explosion at Felling Colliery, 91 were buried in this churchyard and are commemorated here in a memorial. The Reverend John Hodgson of this church took up the cause of mine safety as a direct result of his efforts. The mine safety lamp was developed. So there's actually a little memorial just inside here, which we'll have a look at. I think it's got all the names listed on. That doesn't fall on us. I'm surprised nobody's prized the metal off this. That's Thomas Bainbridge, George Bainbridge. Look at that. Some of the ages here. I'll just read from here. Definitely boys. Look at that. Thomas Cragg's 9-year-old. George Cully 14. George Bell 14. Edward Bell 12. Andrew Allen 11. See a lot of families with the same surnames. Look at that. Isaac Greener and John Greener. That's probably a father and 2 sons. 12-year-old Thomas Gordon, 8-year-olds. So all these boys would have been employed at the colliery. If I could ask you to do a favour, if you would like to, click on the subscribe if you want. It'll help grow the channel. That looks like some sort of orchid. I'm going to leave it there because it looks like it's going to rain. We're close to 18 minutes, so I will leave you there, and thank you very much for watching this video. So this is St Mark's at Heworth, next to the Felling bypass, and there's another great surname, Crinian. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time, wherever that may be. Take care.